You say, Thog now owns a villain instead of your sister. And me? You ask, your voice dipping down. No, I could not do. No, that I could not do. Thog has too much focus on you. She says, well, you say, perhaps then send me away to somewhere secure. Who raises her eyebrows, encouraging you to elaborate, and so you do. I was thinking of a palace, a few dutiful servants, a vast store of gold, overlooking a village populated with thousands of beautiful women, surprisingly few men. I'd like my realm to be peaceful. I've seen enough war, and I've no urge to need to actually defend my lands. Yes, I knew about your mini fantasy, chuckles over. I was in your mind long enough to get rather tired of your adoration and copulation. You smile. Good, then I need not go into further detail. I'm not asking you to create something from scratch after all. There must be somewhere in the universe that meets my specification. She nods. Yes, there are several that I know of, but that's not for you. Like in Nuke's case, you're a scrapper. You're long in the dust, fighting for what you get, savoring it all the more when you get it. I'm not sure I agree, you say. Before I return you, I'm going to have to alter those memories of yours, and erase some completely. And she says, we have an important secret to keep, my friend. What you say? This sounds like a terrible reward, especially for one who you call friend. You would question my judgment on what is best, she says, her voice taken on an edge. Your body shakes as you're struck with a wave of power from her. Well, you stammer. She laughs, only jesting, my champion. I'm afraid my judgments stand. I can't have you getting drunk and babbling about me. No one is to know the truth. How about some powers then, you say? I rather like the transformation power, becoming someone else. I must say it is like adventures every time. He smiles cryptically. I was thinking maybe we'd get an audience in her court. Maybe Azazel we would go with her and live in her realm or whatever with her as because we were supposed to, our soul was supposed to stay with them after we die. Wasn't it the case? Maybe after we actually die, we will go to them instead of anywhere else. When we properly die and live out our mortal lives and whatnot. I'm guessing that's what's about to happen. How about some power in the air? She smiles cryptically as she waves in the air. Massive gates, as tall as wide as a castle, appears perhaps 100 meters behind her and swiftly opens. Great light shines out, and there are objects of great size within, but it's terribly blurry. What is that? You say, tilting forward and peering intently. We just call it the gateway, she says. Your mortal eyes cannot behold what is within, and you would not want to, surely would go mad. Not liking the sound of that, you try your best to only focus on Oher. Now it's time for me to go and introduce myself to the others, she says happily. And time for you to go back to your beloved home. Invisibility at will, you say. Certainly you can give me that much. She rolls her eyes and turns towards the gate. A question then, you ask. She stops. Did Flareon ever exist or not? This driver of Nerul's will, the beginning of necromancy, was it all just a prank of yours? She pauses for a moment and says, I'll leave that for you to decide. She turns back to the gates and calls out, enjoy the rest of your life, champion. I expect I'll see you soon enough. Yes, soon. Again soon, because she is going to take his soul when he dies. Now again, we didn't really get any rewards. We just got fucked over constantly and we didn't get a rewards. At least we know we're going to end up after death. At least there's that much. You feel as though you're coming up from, well, obviously our memories are going to be altered, so we wouldn't know that. You feel as though maybe, hopefully, when we die, when Rooster dies, his memories will return to his soul. You feel as though you're coming up from a deep sleep. You open your eyes and gasp. The sun is high above. He's alive, shouts a voice nearby. He's not a wizard, but I saw him carrying a succubus, protecting her, it looked like, says a soldier, approaching you with a lowered spear. The really bad one, says another soldier, who has his crossbow raised at you. Are you certain? He doesn't look demonic, says another guard, approaching on your flank. He carries a sword and shield, both up at the ready. Several other soldiers back these ones. You pick up your own sword. There's a magical vibration within, but the blade does not burst into holy fire. That's unfortunate. Perhaps these men aren't evil, still they're deadly just the same. If you saw me carrying any woman, it was a damsel in distress, to be sure, you call out to them. A damsel with horns and wings, says the first soldier, hardening his jaw. So should I shoot him? Says the crossbowman. He's bleeding badly through his leather armor. He seems to be in a hurry to get on with his day. No, Semius, says a deep voice, familiar voice from behind you. Oh, it's Bonebrow. You spin around and see Bonebrow approaching. Kicking up ash from the field, he's smiling. Bonebrow, you shout, a sight for sore eyes. He closes the distance and you embrace quickly. He slaps you in the back once and you part. Captain, I'm very near certain he was cavorting with the succubus, calls the first soldier. I would not be surprised, says Bonebrow with a low chuckle, looking over you. Yet if that is so, then he meant no ill will. This is Thogsmite, a hero of Ring City. The first guard twists his mouth. No ill will, that's not him. Thog's bane is 8 feet high at least, shouts the soldier with a sword and shield. Bonebrow shakes his head at his men and guides you away by the shoulder. Good to see you, my friend, and with breath still in your lungs. Most are not so lucky. And you say, slapping his shoulder. It appears you found Eunuchia. Sadly, we all did. Perhaps, or perhaps I should say he found us, says Bonebrow, his smile turning grim. Not as you look over the battlefield. The fighting is over, at least from what you can see. All that remains are a ragtag of soldiers sprinkled about, most of them battering like Bonebrow and his troops. Do you know what the wizard is now? You say. Bonebrow shakes his head. There were a few witnesses, but oh yeah, our memory's altered. There were a few witnesses, but not many. He overwhelmed us and our enemies with powerful magic, and then wait. Hold on. I just remembered this. So Thog is still after us. He could not erase our attention from Thog. So what if Thog kills us and crushes our soul? Then wouldn't we end up in Thog's world? Yeah, if he claims our soul, if he crushes us, we'll end up in the abyss. If he claims us, then we'll end up in Thog's worlds, and he will completely destroy the soul, which is, now I remember, the only being that can destroy a soul completely is Thog. And so we have to die normally to get where we need to get to? That's just weird. We really didn't get anything except for hatred from the gods. Fucking hell. There was a report that he was slain by his own lieutenant. We have yet to find his body. We were found near where we heard him last seen. He says, we waits expectantly. I don't know, you say. Succubus named by the name of Azazel, binder of souls, slew him by way of possession of his woman, Narissa, the lieutenant you speak of. Azazel meant to crush his soul. I tried to interfere, but it was hazy. I lost consciousness. Suspect Azazel succeeded. It is now something more terrible. Bonebrow nods solemnly and is silent for a moment. Finally he grins and says, "Thank Tetchis you lived through that." Indeed, you mutter. Even Tetchis' own son did not survive. Bonebrow raises his eyebrow at your words and then says, "Ghost was dressed not so differently than you. That is what drew my men's attention, I'm sure," says Bonebrow, watching his men inspect the dead and dying. "What of Phoebe?" you ask. "The strange orphan girl?" Says Bonebrow. "She is well. Somehow she managed to barricade herself deep within the castle, probably one of the few from Hell's Gate to survive the night. Spot one night kneeling, praying, his gauntlets glowing, a paladin healing one of the wounded. Does Maiden Avis live?" you ask. "Last I saw her," your voice drifts off as you search for a statue. "She does," says Bonebrow. "That spell he used on her fell away. Another reason we suspect him dead." He spits. "Good riddance. To think he was born here and did." He pauses. "Did what he did." "Do not hate the man," you say. "That was Nerul." His eyebrows raise. "You speak confidently of this. I wager you have a tale to tell later," you say. "What of Kriya?" "She lives," says Bonebrow. "Last I spotted her, she was beside that all-seeing witch, Drala they call her." "Does Piria still live?" You ask. "The barmaiden?" Asks Bonebrow. You nod. "She may be among the living, but the time we arrived at the castle was mostly over." Where were we? Where were Bonebrow and the other fucking guards? Like, I never saw them throughout the entire fucking thing. Where were they? By the time you arrive at the castle, it's mostly overrun. I saw her fighting like one of the demons themselves. Thanks the god. The Lich commander, the host, withdrew when he did. And Hallowflame, you ask? Bonebrow raises his eyebrows yet again and says, "Probably alive, as in the way of things. The noble made out better than most. Guarded deep within the castle," he smirks at you. "I see a pattern to your questioning, with the exception of Phoebe. You worry about the welfare of women, particularly the comely ones," you shrug. "Good coincidence." "You seek the embrace of beautiful women so soon after cheating death?" he asks. "It's not so uncommon," you say, your voice dipping in what you realize is an embarrassed tone. "So what one will you choose to pursue? Thogsmiter, hero of Ring City," says Bonebrow. "That's a good question. Even if you do not need to express it aloud to Bonebrow, who do you wish to pursue romantically?" "Well, not Anne Hallowflame. She was just, Iria. No. Oh, Maiden Avis. Yes. Kriya, fuck her. I mean, yes, I know. We will do these again, but it will be very difficult to fucking, yes. It will be very difficult to, funny enough, the easiest one probably would be Anne Hallowflame, considering we are rich now, so it should be easier to convey her. Piria would probably be mad about her husband. Kriya is the easiest one. Maiden Avis would probably be difficult considering she is a holy person. Fuck. We'll do this with the best choices of this chapter. I'm still not very happy with the ending, still saying, but Maiden Avis, let's go with her. "You aim high. William, you aim too high. If there is another way to aim, I do not know it." Nice still. 3 weeks later. "Pursuing Maiden Avis has not been easy. She's initially quite suspicious of you. You can't blame her since the Lathian godling, the possessor, warned Avis about you and said that you were under hostile influence. Luckily, Theosa, the Lathian goddess, took leave of Avis after she had been turned to stone, perhaps to go join her mother, Aletheia, although even Maiden Avis does not know. In any case, Aletheia has not abandoned Avis, since her divine powers are greater than ever. She has done more than one delving from a goddess upon you, and decided that you are clean of evil now. You have come to enrich your friendship with her, mainly by finding every excuse you can to stay by her side. This started with some excessive complaining about your wounds, but you quickly found other excuses, including guarding her when she was she went beyond the walls to minister to the wounded and sick, running messages for her. Even one back rub that he managed to convince her to receive. She certainly seemed to enjoy that. Maiden Avis is now the high priestess of Aletheia for Ring City. Is likely to ascend to the high priestess for the entire land. Thanks to having been the chosen one of Thiosa. Although Thiosa was not victorious in the Battle of Godlings, there is no doubt that Avis was a valiant and pure champion. As for the rest of the inhabitants, after the great battle that destroyed most of the Ring City, called the Scourge, the survivors banded together to salvage what they could of their lives. One of the few buildings standing was the Duke's castle, and so most of the survivors have taken up residence there. Although room in the castle was made thanks to the slaughter of the Duke's knight, not to mention many of the nobles and castle servants, the quarters here are tight, with the courtyard stables housing far more people than horses. The dungeons are filled with makeshift bedding, and even the tunnels of shame have been filled up now with wood and firewood to make room elsewhere in the castle for beds. No one knows where Ghost, Nerissa, and Reginald are. Kalak and Drala attempted scrying on them, but this failed. Perhaps they're no longer in this world. Troops from Lord Wellington's army are on their way, hopefully to reinforce your defense and not to take the city for themselves. One silver lining of the Scourge is that the civil war that had been raging over the kingdom has ended, and at least paused. There is nothing like a war of the gods to bring men to the sense and remind them there are larger things than politics. For now, Bonebrow is in charge of the city's defense, since he is the highest surviving member of the guard. Now he's called Sir Goodford, since he has been knighted by the Lady Wellington's second cousin, one of the last knights to survive. However, he will always be Bonebrow to you. By the way, I just want to say that I don't know if he's gotten very close to Maiden Avis. I don't know if he will be able to, seduce her or whatnot. In the crowded castle, even the Sky Garden is being used to its full capacity. That's where you find yourself on this sunny, warm day. At the new location for the Leering Virgin Inn, which really is just the wooden sign from the original inn, hung on a branch of a garden apple tree. People sit at the cobbled together tables upon mismatched chairs. From here, you have a view of the ruins. People far below, like ants, work through the rubble, salving what they can, and bring the materials behind the remaining walls. Finally, you have a chance to talk to Maiden Avis about something other than the immediate needs of people. However, she has turned it immediately to the nature of your possession. I just do not understand why the Godling of Fun would want to be so insulting and antagonizing, says Avis. I know, it certainly wasn't fun for me. Maybe some people enjoy being chased and threatened, although I can't imagine, you say. She is now the high priestess of the city, thanks to her possession by the Godling of Aletheia. Although the Godling have failed to win the... Yeah, we already read this. Why is this written here again? This was on top as well. But I've never heard of such a god, says Avis. Thiosa thought that it may have been Oher's daughter. She was not happy about that idea. That would be a close match, an easy mistake to make, you say, sipping your ale. The god of fun, though, says Avis, shaking her head. Another close match might be Nisa, but Nisa did not even send a godling of his own. But I'm probably too distracted by his own debauchery, you say with a grin. She smiles. That was proposed at the council. A sense of humor among the Alathians, you say? I hope it was not one of those handsome paladins made the jest. My sense of humor is all I have over them to claim your love. Oh, he actually said that. I've come to care for you, for your bravery and kind heart, she says a little quietly. Let us not get ahead of ourselves. We are not wed. It is but a matter of time. You say, you move too fast, Rooster, says Avis. On that note, I may have to go by another name, you say. Can Maiden Avis, high priestess of Ring City, El Champion of Aletheia, be married to a man named Rooster? She laughs. I care not for names, although you make a point. Is it only love, you wonder? It is true, you are moving unusually fast. Not fast in your usual way, but truly into uncharted territory with your talk of marriage. Could your eagerness of something else too? Power to protect yourself from Thog? Only the sight of the most powerful Lathian in the land could you feel any security, that is, without running. And what of your sister's safety? Thanks to your wealth, you have sent out emissaries to find her. You would seek her yourself, except for the tales of your exploit are moving faster than you can hope to, and so you have decided that this is wisest to stay put long enough for her to find you. Avis, on the other hand, is preparing to leave on another adventure as the leader of an expedition to hunt down the remnants of Ring City's enemies. Although the surviving devils and demons retreated from the prime material after the Scourge, there are goblins, tribes, and giants that are still at the large. It is said that the hunt may extend all the way to the Dragon Tooth Mountains, or even maybe beyond. As you look upon Maiden Avis now, this thought of her leaving gnaws at you. You look away from the beautiful priestess, you sip your ale, and spot Anne Hallowflame strolling through the garden. It is hard to forget the last time you saw that noble woman in this garden. Without thinking, you glance over to the bushes where you and Anne had enjoyed your tryst. Nearly all the foliage have been ripped out to make room for more tables and chairs. However, there is still the hedge, under which is the altar of Cesna and Benzel, the gods of lust. Perhaps that little cozy den is still being used for desperate lovers looking for consecrate their forbidden love. Anne is walking with one of the servants, chatting in the sun. Her expression is a bit haughty. You focus on Anne's abdomen, searching for a bump. There is word that Anne is with child, the soul of Lady Wellington's child, who have been slain by Thog's godling. Really, his child is in fucking Anne? Who have the same for Thog's godling? I did say this before that this might happen. Anne claims that she and her husband, her deceased husband, had congress near the time the child's soul was set free. So it is said that the soul of Lady Wellington's child may have taken to Anne's womb. Agrella had been so determined for you to have relations with Anne, and that timing was close. Probably a coincidence, you think. She was the godling of fun after all. Yeah, our memories are fucked. She could not have foretold and hoped to involve in the string of the special soul. Your thoughts are broken by a tug on your cloak. It's Phoebe. She smiles up at you. May Anne and I go to the river again? Annabelle and I go to the river again? You say the river is disgusting, and you're bound to catch plague. We want to leave the city, says Phoebe, grinning up at you. We'll go upstream, says Annabelle. I'm going to catch us all the meals of rock bugs. Annabelle's black hair. Who's the fuck is Annabelle? Is Anna? I don't know. Annabelle's black hair is tangled as usual and falling over her face, partially hiding her large brown eyes. She's a skinny little girl and grubby too. Despite your best efforts to provide her with clean clothing and soap, she always manages to smudge up her dress and turn nearly black from all the ash, mud, and sun of her daily adventures with Phoebe. By the way, I'm gonna go through every romance option in this one by one and see what is happening. Because this is a lot of story apparently. We call them crayfish around here, not rock bugs, says Phoebe, sticking her tongue out at Annabelle. Oh, those are pretty tasty, you say. It is dangerous outside the wall, says Ivis to Annabelle. We will be careful, says Annabelle. We will bring Gookog. Oh, Gookog is around. You ran away from him last time, you say. He can't keep up with you with his limp. We will be good this time, promise, says Annabelle. Yes, promise, joins in Phoebe. Crayfish, you say thoughtfully. I'm not much of a cook. Gookog can help us cook then. Cook them, says Annabelle. He eats everything. Phoebe leans in and whisper, Annabelle, let's the crayfish go anyway. Oh, you say, smiling at Annabelle, who's smiling at you innocently. So, asks Phoebe. I'm not sure what a good parent would do. When you were the age of these girls, I have no idea who Annabelle is. You never asked for permission to do anything. At the same time, you feel a bit protectiveness. Both of these girls were orphaned, hadn't been easy, and haven't had it easy. You'll be careful, adds Phoebe. Fine, really do find Gookog and mind what he says, you say. We will, shouts Phoebe. We will joins in Annabelle, her fist bunched up and punching the air in glee. They run off. Ivis looks after them as they leave. That Annabelle has mischief in her, I fear. She says with a faint smile. Oh, right. Well, she certainly seems to have a way of getting what she wants. You say, I can never seem to say no to her. Ivis chuckles softly and says, it was good of you to take care of them. They need someone like you. We all need to take care of each other. What do I do exactly now? What is my position? How do I earn a living exactly? Ivis chuckles softly and says, it was good of you to take care of them. They need someone like you. You all need to take care of each other, you say, peering over the ruins of the city below. Ivis reaches across the table and takes hold of your hand. You turn back to see her warm smile. She peers into your eyes with her beautiful blues. It is for love, not power or influence, that I seek marriage of this woman, you think. And only a fool would not marry her if given the chance. There is ultimate Alathian bestowed her ultimate favor upon... there is a reason Alathia bestowed her ultimate favor upon Maiden Avis. The priestess might be more than you deserve, but you have never let what you deserve get in the way of seeking to take it. The end. And we got it's holy shit. Hold on. You completed an epic series. Nice job. Currently this is the largest series in the library, in many ways my favorite. I'm so glad you came along for the ride. By the way, this the last chapter has several different endings, so if you please check them out. Also, see the series Wizard's Choice and the Demon's Choice overlap with this one. If you haven't already played these, I highly encourage you to do so. Your total score is 640, earning you the reputation of rogue. Yeah, I didn't get the Thog Smiter hero scores because that's 910. I'm way behind that. I just want to say that I am not very happy. I'm not gonna say I'm the most uncontented with this, but there's multiple endings which we'll go through when we do the best choices of this chapter, definitely. But the thing is, it's like a slight it slightly rubs me the wrong way, I guess you could say. There's like it really annoyed me. Like, I really didn't want Nuxius to die. He's in the infinite staircase, at least over that much. Hopefully he will be able to find a world because with his knowledge, and not just end up in some random world where a Thog or some shit killed him. Now Thog is going to chasing after us. Alethea, I feel Avis, I feel like she's just not gonna be around too much, and then I don't know how would this love story even go through. And like no one really died for some reason at the end of it. Like everyone was dying, and everyone we asked about, like, is this person alive? They're like, yeah. Is this person alive? Yeah. Is this person alive? Yeah. It's like, what the hell happened at the end? I'm not gonna say it's the worst ending. The first game, the Wizard's Choice, ended abruptly and was weird. This one ended with a lot more guilt and like fuck all feeling. Like I really hate this fucking feeling I'm feeling right now. It's like, it just does not, it's not very, it just doesn't, it rubs me the wrong way. I think the ending happened in a way that makes me feel like there was more to be had, but we didn't get that. It's not about happy or sad ending. It's like there's more to be had, but we didn't get any of that. It just feels really weird, and it's like the entire thing. And if I remove everything, at the end of the day, the entire series, all that happened is that we were going through pain and being humiliated, and going through pain and being humiliated, and going through pain and being humiliated. It's just constantly that. Like, with this choice, there was depression, yes, and there was this feeling of not being the most powerful, and you have to do with what you have. And obviously, that one was not as fleshed out as this one. But holy shit, this one is way too much on this fucking thing. On top of that, there's like everything is made into a joke by roosters making jokes constantly. So it just doesn't feel that sort of story that would like take away everything there is, sort of thing. So it just rubs me the wrong way. Again, same thing. Great shows, both of these, Wizard's Choice and Rogue's Choice, but the endings just I do not fuck with. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. The link in the description to my Twitter, the link in my description to my Patreon, the link to the background music, the link to the game. I'm going to be back with the best choices, and I'm going to go through all the endings and see what happens in the other endings. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.